So we've got this study looking at how endometrial thickness, or ET, influences the live birth rate after a single euploid fet. It's quite a deep dive into whether a thin lining really matters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. They analyzed 959 cycles from multiple centers, focusing solely on euploid transfers. That alone removes a huge confounding factor like embryo quality. Isn't that a major strength?
Exactly. I mean, they controlled for factors like age, BMI, and even the quality of the embryo by using strict morphological criteria. It's like they wanted to isolate ET as much as possible to really see its independent effect. It's quite rigorous.
Right? And what really surprised me was that they didn't find a clear linear relationship between ET and live birth rate. There wasn't a threshold, no magical cutoff like below 7 millimeter eliminating the chance of success.
Yeah, that's the kicker. Despite the long held belief that an ET of less than 7 millimeters is problematic, their data shows live births even with ET in the lower ranges. There was this peak of around 11 meters, but that seemed more like an incidental finding rather than something truly causal.
I appreciate that nuance. Although, don't you think that peak at around 11 millimeter might suggest some trend or optimal window for a thicker lining?
Well, I get where you're coming from, but when you break it down, the apparent peak was really based on a very small number of cycles. They only had like a handful of cycles at 11 millimeters, which makes it highly
Yeah, I see
vulnerable
your
to
point.
random variation.
Fair enough. It also seems like the study used conditional density plots and ROC analyses to confirm that there's no reliable predictive value of ET on the live birth rate, and they even ran logistic regression models to remove other confounders.
Exactly. They adjusted for variables like the day of biopsy and even administration protocols in programmed versus natural cycles. The takeaway: canceling transfers solely because the ET is below 7 millimeter may not be scientifically justified.
Right?
It could really change clinical practice.
That's a big deal. It challenges long held protocols and suggests a more patient friendly approach by potentially avoiding unnecessary cycle cancellations, right?
Yeah, totally. It highlights the importance of not overinterpreting a single parameter in complex clinical scenarios. They even noted that measurement variations, like when exactly ET was measured, had little impact. It's really comprehensive.
And the study's retrospective design isn't without limitations, like interobserver variability in measuring ET. But overall, their sample size and controlled variables add solid weight to the conclusions.
Right? And they even suggest that prospective studies could further validate these results. It's all about refining our understanding and not putting undue pressure on patients with arbitrary cutoffs.
Absolutely. It's exciting to see data that could shift clinical practice to be more personalized and evidence based. It makes you wonder what other rules of thumb might be up for reevaluation soon.
Exactly. It's like rethinking classic guidelines with modern data, and that's what really drives progress in reproductive medicine. It's been
Yep.
a fascinating discussion.